You know, it's funny, kids. It's Major Bets again, and it's funny when I look back behind me at that golf course. I don't know if you see it back in the back behind me. I love golfing. I don't get to do it as much because I do some other things, and I try to go out and I try to do what God's will is in my life. And I know some of you look at me and you say, God's will? I don't even know what color socks I'm going to wear tomorrow. But let me tell you something. You're going to have challenges in your life, and this may be a little longer posting than normal, but I want you to understand this. In life, you're going to have some challenges, and when you do, I want you to remember this acronym, TTVTM. TTVTM. That's when your trials will become your tests will become your victory, your victories will become your testimony, and your testimony will become your ministry. Some of you talked to me about that. You're people of faith, and now I'm a faith business, so I don't try to hide that. So if this is not your thing, go ahead and turn it off, but it might help you. A lot of times, your trials, the things that happen to you in your life, they happen to you for a reason. And sometimes it's somebody at school who's just messing with you, and they're challenging you. They're trying to prove their worth. And what they do is they make your life miserable. And that's sad because you then let that affect you. It affects your grades. It affects the success, the things you volunteer for, the program you want to get into, but you don't want to be bothered with that guy or that gal, so you don't join it. That's hogwash. There's a French word for that, and it's called baloney. Your trials and the things you go through with those kids, when they put you through it, they mess up your reputation, they talk about you, they say things about you, they lie on you, they get you in trouble. That's just going to happen, and that's okay. You're a person of faith. There are a lot of people in the Bible who had challenges and things that happened to them. That's okay, though, because they got through it. A lot of times when you're going through those struggles, that's when God is with you the most. And so what I want you to understand is your trials then will become your test. Those tests that you go through each and every day, those tests that you go through life, those things are going to make you who you are in the future. They're all a part of God's plan. So when you get to that thing when you were called to do, you'll be able to recall those tests that you went through. So those trials become those tests. Are you going to cheat or not on something? A lot of times you'll have that test. Sometimes, are you going to do that fornication or have that premarital sex that you know you shouldn't do? Are you going to do the drugs because those guys and gals at school who you want to be friends with decide to do it, so you're going to do it? Those will become your tests. So your trials that you go through will become your little tests. All those situations, those trials will become your tests. But those tests then can become your victory. How you pass or fail them will become your victory, because hopefully you're going to pass them all, but you won't. There are going to be some things you're going to do, and it's going to be a mistake, and you won't pass that test. And it's just going to happen. Trust me, Major Bets has failed some tests. But you know what? That's okay, though, because my trials became my tests. My test became my victory. Whether I did good or bad, I went through it and learned from it. So your trials become your victory. So your trials become your tests become your victory when you get through it. If you get through it and it's good, God's proud of you, everything's great. If you get through it and it's bad, you learn from it and you don't do it again. So it becomes your victory. So your trials become your tests become your victory then becomes your testimony, because you can tell other kids who are now thinking about having sex outside of marriage, and you already did it. You can tell them, no, it's not what they say it is, or it's not something good because it's going to mess with your head. No, don't do drugs because it's not what they said. No, don't do this or don't do that. So then all of a sudden, that becomes your testimony. You can now help other people not make the mistakes that you made. And that's a beautiful thing when you can help somebody else avoid the same mistake that you made. So your trials become your tests become your victory becomes your testimony, because you went through the test and you passed it or failed it, but you tell other people about it, so it's a testimony, and God is pleased when you help other believers, and even those who don't believe, pass those tests without going through the same experiences. You don't have to have premarital sex to know that it's bad for you. You don't have to get pregnant in order to know that was bad. So I want you to do that, and then finally your testimony becomes your ministry. That's that thing now that you're out doing and helping other people. So now you're out there telling the story. It's not just one thing, but it's you as a person. So whether you're 16 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old, if abstinence is something that you believe in, then you go through that and you deal with that, and then you let your story be the story for others to learn from. Whether you did have sex or you didn't, you let others hear your story so they don't have to make the same mistakes, or they can duplicate the successes. And so when we start talking about TTVTM, when Major Bet says that, I want you to understand your trials will become your tests. Your test will become your victory. Your victory that will then become your testimony, and your testimony will become your ministry, and you'll do that for the rest of your life. My ministry has been debt elimination. I've been trying to help people not get into debt. I was $80,000 in debt. I just said, God, if I could ever get broke, I'll be happy. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Figure out what your thing is and then make it a part of your life. I never thought that I would be doing the things I do for schools. I never thought that I'd be doing the things I do at churches. I never thought that I would be traveling around the country helping people, but I am. And I'm doing it because of my debt elimination ministry, and I'm going to keep doing it. And so my whole scholarship program, my whole leadership program is because of that. And so with that being said, I just want you to understand that let that be your ministry. Let your light shine so that other people will see you do that, okay? Anyway, God bless. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Major Bets out.